Where are you, Mr. Derek?
I'm here.
All right,
I'm stepping.
that's half the battle.
That's it.
All right, under roads, we put the plows away. Took one solder off one truck. We still have a solder on one truck for emergency, just in case something would happen. We're sweeping the roads today and tomorrow in the village. So if you see dust flying through, no good at dust. Underwater, the generator at the pump house is now operational. The generator will be automatically running every Monday at noon for approximately 10 minutes just to cycle through. Generator project is moving forward on the water tower. We have signed documentation from the EPA. Ed submitted the paperwork for the EPA violation, and we have not heard back from them. The yearly MS4 report has been done and submitted to the EPA. The water department was called out by state troopers for an accident that had hit a hydrant. And the 360 software that I told you I was going to update you on some prices. I'll let you know where we stand on that right now.
That's already been ordered.
What's that?
Neptune 360's already been ordered.
Yeah, I was just going over the software part of it that I told them I was going to give them prices and stuff on.
You're on the billing software, which isn't part of that. Neptune 360 is the program to read the meters and the
For
digits.
billing, yes.
No, that just reads your meters. This is the billing software here.
So basically it takes
We already paid, or we already ordered the Neptune 360 to
correct.
read
Correct.
meters and stuff.
Correct.
This is a totally different thing.
Yeah, this is not for the 360. This is associated with 360, though. We need this for 360 to operate. Okay, that's how that works. So we've looked into 5 different companies, got some pricing on it. I gave you the top 2 that me and Penny had talked about. I've talked to her a little bit about. As of right now, we are going to use UB Max, which is what we currently have. They're going to sundown as of next March is what we're being told. Could it be longer? They might give us 6 more months. They might give us 12 more months. I just don't like playing the waiting game on it. So where I stand with it, I think we need to make a move by this October, which would give us room to have it all implemented in between October and that March date of the deadline. And those are the 2 quotes with rough pricing on there for you. It's actually true pricing, but if there's more stuff to that. I didn't want to go too in depth with you. I mean, as far as like billing, like 3 cents per call and things like that. So that's the only thing that's not listed on there. I got that information. If you want to get a hold of me and get that, I got that also. But we do need to make that decision before or in October in order to get that done. It has to, in my opinion. We might squeak by after March, we might not. I just don't want to be willing to take that risk. Okay, that being said.
I mean,
But-
I'm sorry, these 2
You're
quotes,
good.
I mean, there's a pretty big difference between them.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's huge.
So you see the upfront cost, and then the monthly breakdown of the 5% yearly. So then underneath it, I kind of broke down a little bit of why, some of the reasons why it is. There's more reasons why. And anybody that wants to look into both these programs, I'm gladly sit down with any of you and we can schedule a meeting with both these companies individually, obviously, and go over how these softwares work, what they look like, what they have to offer. But PSA, I talked to G-Works again today, will not offer a PSA. Now, can we get an outside public alert system? Possibly. I've only heard of one. There might be more out there, but they don't offer a PSA at all, G-Works. It's gone. They also only do email and text. They don't do like landlines or anything like that. So talking with Penny, a lot of our customers are elderly and they don't have emails or cell phones they text through, and maybe they're not too good at doing that stuff. So that was a concern of hers. So the other one has a built-in PSA that it works same way we're working now, and then also with the communication with the residents would work the same as it is now. And there's a lot more behind that that is beneficial than G-Works. I personally think MuniWorks is the future. It's one and done. With G-Works, there's going to be more stuff that goes into it as far as getting a PSA company, and there's a lot more inside there that we may want or need in the future that will add to the price. As of right now, we don't. That's the price to get it up and running.
G-Works is gonna nickel and dime us to death.
As of right now, the price on there is what it's going to be. But in the future, if we want to upgrade to certain things, of course it's going to cost. So as we go through and we want to add this or we want to add that, it's going to add to it. MuniWorks, that's everything. So I say it like this, and it might make somebody mad because they might like Kias, but Community Lake's a Cadillac. G-Works is a Kia. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it does the job, gets you back and forth, but that's just our opinion. That's where me and Penny decided that that's kind of where we want to go, but G-Works will work. And they're both cloud-based also. Backed up through the cloud.
So this doesn't have anything to do with a water emergency. This
As
is
far as
just
setting
really-
out the PSA, yes, it does.
Okay, public safety.
Yet the public safety alert does not go through G-Works. They're not going to offer it anymore.
So the PSA through our current billing is who calls if there's a water,
Correct.
a boil alert or whatever.
That will no longer be there. Now, we'll have to investigate and dig into finding another one, which I've been told by one company, there's only like one or two out there, and they only used one, and only a couple people use it. So,
We also use it for billing too.
Late bill, they call.
that's why the communication is key with Penny, with trying to keep it the same way it is now. Because you know as well as I do, and I'm one of these people, once you start changing things on me that I have in front of me, I don't like it too much. I like what I got, keep giving it to me. You take something away, it's not, people are not gonna be happy.
How does this compare to our current expense now? Who we're using?
Oh, Kurt can go over that probably with you. As far as the PSA is like $215 a year, $255 a year, I think we pay for, you said?
255, I think. is
Something like that for the PSA.
I'm thinking our annual,
A month or a year?
no, for the year.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you guys want to wait a second, I think I've got it printed out on my desk. I think I can tell you pretty quick.
I mean, like I said, this is something, if you have more questions and you don't want to do it, I know it's a lot of money. It is. I mean, when you look at 14,000 compared to 4,000 up front.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a huge difference.
Now, there's another thing. G-Works is going to back up our current system up to, I think, just 1 year as far as backdating. And I think EPA, correct me if I'm wrong, likes to see at least 2 to 3 years. I think it's 3 years back. It's not a big dig or nothing. We can get by with it. We still have it on paper, but it's not backed up.
The billing.
Correct.
EPA wants to know about the
The
billing.
billing, correct. They want backlog of it,
That's
of
interesting.
up to 3 years. So Muni Lake, we'll back up to 5, 10, whatever you want. That's all included in that price. They'll go back as far as our documents will let them go back, they will go back.
They're just a lot bigger company. So
It is, and like I said, there's so much more to offer, and it's there already. Everything we have now will keep rolling the way it's going, and then some. I mean, I'm not a billing person, like, I'm amazed what Penny does. Penny does a great job. I sat there and just watched through this seminar that was going through, and the way billing's set up, it takes you through block by block by block. You can't screw it up. I mean, the way it's set up. It's pretty self-explanatory. Even I think I could probably do it if Penny didn't make it. I mean, it wouldn't take me but an hour to learn it. It's that simple.
with the Muni Lake.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of wondering. So, I mean, obviously the better it is, the more dummied down it is, I would think. Just more user friendly, I suppose. So is this G-Works, is it a lot more
Well,
complicated?
here's another thing. With Muni Lake, you can call and they guarantee, that sounds weird, second ring, they pick the phone up. We tried it when we were in this. And also there's a chat bar right there. So you don't have to leave any screen you're on. So in other words, you don't have to go back and go to a chat screen. It's right there on any page you're on, whatever you're doing on this system. You click the chat button, type it in, within seconds, you get a response instantly. G-Works, you got to put in a work order. You type in, you send an email, and they get back with you. Now, she's had good luck to this point, but the people that are working through G-Works currently work for UB Max. We don't know if they're going to transfer them people over to that. She's going to work with them, or they're going to be gone. We don't know how they're going to work that. So it could be totally different people.
So this G-Works is taking over what we do.
UB Max, correct?
Yeah, they bought them.
Yes. So yes, the cost is outrageous, but I mean, I personally, I mean, and I know Kurt and we talked about this. I look at it monthly and it's like $235 more a month. Now you got to figure in the 5% every year on top of that also. But I mean, the money that we're trying to make off this and the things we do with our water money to try to keep this thing moving forward, I don't see why $230 some a month difference to get something better. I mean, that's just where I'm at with it.
Can we look at?
But I don't run the money, so.
Henry, can you also look at quoting for a PSA system?
Correct, I'll look at that.
So we
I've
see
already-
it all encompassing,
Yeah.
option one, option two.
I've looked at, I think they call it Code Red. I've looked into that one. I haven't got any pricing on it. I just kind of looked it up. That was one of the ones they mentioned to me.
I think it's pretty important we keep that. We don't want to.
Yeah, we can't lose that.
Now, the Muni Link is easier for somebody new to learn to use it.
I think so, but
Penny's gonna retire eventually.
Yeah, and to that point, I think that's true too, but I don't, G-Works, I didn't really sit through too much of a seminar of it. I kind of went through just a meeting with them. I didn't go through each thing like I did with Muni Lake with Penny. So I couldn't answer that. Penny will tell you she'll work with anything. She don't care. I mean, everybody's got a favorite, right? You look at stuff, this would work better, this is what I think's good. Everybody's got their opinion, so we definitely side with Muni Link, but it's very visible that there's a cost difference. It just depends on where you guys stand, if you want to pay the difference to get the Cadillac or the Kia. They both operational, they both get you to work.
Well, for the public alert, we're paying $525, and it's an interface is what it is. We're paying for the interface between our UB Max and the, it's actually called Public Alert is what the program's called. And then you also have an interface or a subscription to interface your Neptune reading equipment to the billing software, and that's $219 a month. And if I'm not mistaken, this particular report doesn't have the annual UB Max charge on it, but I'm thinking that's like, I want to say $2,000, but I could be off on that.
That's about right, Kurt, because I had another 2,060 for what they were going to transfer over in their setup. Correct.
So a couple hundred a month, which.
So a couple hundred.
Well, like I said, I'm not sure. I wasn't prepared. I didn't know you guys were gonna look.
Well, it sounds like we're spending over 400 a month as it is.
No, we're not spending 4,800 a year on that. No.
So I just want to say with
Between
that,
the PSA and everything?
This is a one-time fee. That 525 is once a year,
Okay.
and the 219 is once a year. Those are
Well,
annual
they said
subscriptions.
once a month.
No,
Okay.
No, those are once a year.
Okay.
525 once a year, 219 once a year.
I just want to say with that public alert interface, that public alert, I don't want to say it's owned by UB Max, I'm not super certain about that. But when UB Max is gone, that public alert is gone. There's no way we just call it public alert and say, put it on G-Works. It ain't gonna happen. Public alert is gone. Now, there could be other companies, like I said, that Code Red that I can look into to Dave's point, and I will do that.
I think we could just have it all encompassing option one, option two.
I just don't know how many I'm gonna have for you guys. There might not be many.
That's fair.
I would just try at least find
Yeah.
one or two
Okay.
if you can. Then we can see if it's 200-300 a month for that.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Any questions on that before we move forward? If you do, just email me, or if you wanna see that meeting link, I'm sure it'll take a couple days to set it up, to set up with them to sit down and look at it, or G-Works, whichever you wanna do. Just email me and let me know, and I'll set up time with Penny and the company, when you guys can come in and we'll sit down and look at it. It's about an hour and a half seminar, hour and a half, 2 hour seminar to go through everything.
Sounds good.
Okay. This is news everybody wanted to hear here. Effective March 31st, 2024, which most of you probably heard this, Canton City is raising their water rates 3.4%. Plus our village rate raising 2%. The village water rate will go up 5.4% this year, total, with Canton and our charges, 5.4%. They're 3.4, our 2%. Any questions before I move on to parks with that?
Just to make sure, last year I thought we passed, the resolution last year that we passed, did it cancel the auto increase, or is it just a one-time pause in the auto increase?
That was just for last year.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I know there was talk about canceling the auto increase to make it voted on every year, but I just wanted to make sure it was just a pause and not.
That was just for last year.
Okay, all right.
Okay, moving on to parks. We're hoping to open the park this week. Every year we play it by weather. Normally we say we open at the beginning of April, but we've always opened it the way the weather's been going a little early. So we're planning on opening that this week. So before we can open that park, we do all inspections on all equipment. do all repairs prior to opening it. Weather at night must stay above freezing, and at this point, it's looking like that in the future. Weather permitting, we can open it by this Friday. If everything goes good and nothing else happens within the village that we got to attack before we do that. New flower beds are also going to go in this week or next week. You want me to pause here since we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there were concerns that were brought forward. Sue can also speak on those, I'm sure, on social media about the condition of some of the equipment at the park. So Henry and team, they're going to be going up there and inspecting that. But it's important to note that the park isn't open yet. So people going there are going on their own. I understand the weekend was nice, but until that park's officially open, the equipment hasn't been inspected. It will be inspected, and we'll look to make any repairs necessary. Of course, we would love to have all new equipment at the park, but there is nothing earmarked currently to do that. So I'm sure you all may hear or see on social media, but yeah, I wanted to just bring it to council. And so maybe you have something to.
That being the case, if you saw that chit chat on there, why, and I'm not saying this derogatory, but why didn't you say on there, the park doesn't officially open and the equipment will be checked?
I did comment on it.
Oh, did you? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't see
Yeah.
that. My phone only showed me so many comments.
Yeah, I did comment on it. I commented directly to the person that was the original poster. And I told her that the service department would inspect the equipment. And then I saw that another poster mentioned that the park wasn't officially open yet.
So if something happens at that park and it's not officially open, is there any liability to the city? Like, let's say that slide would have crashed and that little girl would have been hurt.
I mean, I'm not.
So
solicitor.
if
Well,
somebody
I
breaks
was
into your house and falls down the stairs, they'll see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We
people have been walking
have
up there.
immunity.
Is it a crime to be up at the park if it's not
No,
officially
I
open?
wouldn't say it's a crime, but we also have to also keep in mind that until the park is open, repairs haven't been done, inspections haven't been done. It's an annual thing, so.
And it's way too early for water. I mean, even next week, there's gonna be temperatures below freezing as lows, so it's a couple days.
Do we got to put a sign up on something then, Charlie?
I think it's posted.
It's posted on the gate.
It's closed,
Well, they said the slide was going to fall over something.
well, since we haven't inspected it, we don't know.
Oh.
If that slide is in fact rusted to the point where it shouldn't be used,
It'll be taken out.
okay.
Yeah, the service team, they're very good about safety and making sure we're not putting anyone
I
at
just
risk.
want to make sure it's my understanding, it's not the slide, it's the
The platform.
platform before the slide. I
That's
just want to make sure, we're going to inspect it anyways, I just want to make sure we're clear on
Yeah.
what we're talking about, that's all.
The only other thing I question is the validity of someone put on there that, because I commented to that lady, if you have a concern, go to the council meeting.
Yeah.
And somebody else commented that only people in the city are allowed to come to and or address council.
When you look at public speaks and you start getting into certain issues, yes, somebody may question the residency of someone. But as I said on there, you can bring any concern. We don't, if a concern is brought to us from a township resident, we're not going to say, oh, we don't want to hear from you because you're from the township. That's just not, that's simply not how it works.
Mhm.
But, in some contested items, there may be some questions to the residency of people that come into the meetings. That's the only thing that was brought forward.
And I understand that if you're not paying city taxes, there's only so much you should be
Yeah.
allowed to gripe about and say it in a nice
It's a
way.
public meeting
Right.
and a public forum.
Right.
If somebody, like the baseball organization, if somebody's living outside the village and they're participating in the baseball, their parent has a right, if they don't live in the village, to come and express a concern.
And we'll always listen to concerns. It's not something we dismiss. It's just,
I only have two other questions, but someone asked me about the apron going from the road into the Fultz Center down there has huge check holes. You could build a house. Who's responsible for that? Is the city responsible to repair that, or
The
is that the
Fultz
Fultz
is.
Center?
It's private property.
Okay, okay.
The Fultz.
And then I have a question about a police stop. So do you want me to bring that up now or wait till you get to police report?
No, we're getting ready to get into safety next, if you want, you can. Yeah.
I'm about ready to wrap up. One more section here, buildings. We repaired 2 doors at the village hall. One was right here and the other was the outside police door. Put a new hinge on that. So it seems to be closing okay now, all of them, but the police one don't shut all the way sometimes. That's not due to the latch, so it's just the building shifted and it's a steel door and we sanded it and then all kind of WD-40. It's just, without buying a new door, there's nothing we can do. I have a question for council. Just like to get some thoughts on removing this bell out front from the brick structure and placing it over in the side flower bed to the left of the entrance on some pillars or whatever we can design and figure out. Also, the memorial that's under it will be relocated to underneath of that because it's a dilapidated brick structure that we've talked about before and it costs a lot of money to repair. So I didn't know if that might be a better idea than trying to get that repaired. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention on our thoughts, what we'd like to do with it. Or did you want to get that thing repaired? But we need to do something with it because it's getting bad. It's gonna fall. Any opinions
I
on
mean,
that?
it's
or-
gonna cost more to repair it than it is to make something else. It's gonna look, I guess, it's nice and be,
They don't have to
More
ring
on the
the thing, just put it on the ground.
2 years ago, the cost was a little over 5,000 to repair it. So it's probably 7,500 or so now. For the
I
same
don't
thing.
have a problem relocating it.
The memorial that's there,
That was an ex-police chief, I do believe.
Yeah.
is the family still in the area or, you know?
I'm not sure. I mean, we can move it over there if we have to.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is just the communication there. If we decided to move it, I think it'd be good to, if they're in the area, still
Reach
reach
out.
out and give them some warning of
we
that.
can dig into that a little bit, see if they're in the area, maybe check social media or people we know, or if you guys hear anything, once you let us know. We'll reach out to them. And again, something maybe you guys can get with me or Ed and email us and let us kind of simmer on that, let us know. But it's definitely gonna need attention this year because it's probably not gonna make it through another winter. It's,
just all the
it's
mortar
bad.
basically.
Oh, yeah, it's cracking. The
Yeah.
bricks are actually sliding out of it. You can grab a couple bricks off the top. And then the heavy bells inside of that. So if something happens, it's gonna fall and it could hurt somebody. I guess that could be a safety issue really. With the sidewalk being right there.
Right.
But yeah, just give us some input. We'll dig in to see if we can try to find out as far as the memorial. So that and the PSA I'll look into.
Yeah.
Two things it sounds like. And last thing, repaired the furnace in the PD. There's a directional vent and the ceiling went bad, so I'm staying on and blazing hot back here. So that's repaired. That's it. Any other questions? I'll get back with Dave for the PSA and dig into the night for the memorial.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Henry.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Chief Heinerman is on vacation today, so he's putting on one of his old hats there, and coming up and giving the safety.
Okay, under safety, the stats for the last couple of weeks. 26 traffic stops, 3 security checks, 3 follow-ups, 2 suspicious persons, 2 alarm drops, 2 911 hangups, 1 property damage crash, 1 theft, 1 domestic, 1 missing, 1 B&E, and 1 lockout. So had quite a few things happen the last couple of weeks there. The PD, they have ordered 2 radar units. So they're on order. And Chief Heineman would like to send out a special thanks to the road department for assisting with the traffic control caused by the crash on East Nassau. Apparently they did a Job well done out there. Congratulate them.
Did you write this?
So, it was a bad crash, and we were out there like 8 hours.
When was that?
2 weeks ago.
What's the name?
A gentleman swerved to miss a deer and took out a pole. Well, this pole just happened to have a lot of wires, no transformers. They were down on the roads. I mean, it was a mess, literally a mess.
That's the reason school was closed.
Yeah, it was. And once AEP came in and put the new pole in and got their wires up, they moved out. Then AT&T had to come in and put their wires up because AEP won't put AT&T's wires up. So there again, it was another few hours before we got done. But all finished up around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's all I have.
The gentleman that was caught doing 108 miles an hour in the township of East Canton,
Township, yeah.
I don't even know how to propose my question. There's nobody here from the police department. Did a sheriff stop him or did our police stop him?
It was in the township, so it wouldn't be
That was a
RPD.
trooper.
It was
It was a
actually state
trooper.
trooper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he will go to court for that?
I think you'd have to, yeah. I think Rick was off and a few other
Because it
things.
said on Facebook, now, of course, if it's on Facebook, it's true, but it said he only got a speeding ticket. I'm surprised they didn't haul his butt right over to Stark County Jail and impound that car.
I'm sure they could've.
Where was it? Does anybody know?
It was on the outside heading towards, yeah, out by past Diamonds, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All it said was in East Canton, the township of East Canton, and
Yeah.
I just pictured down by Varian Orchards or somewhere. I didn't know where it was, and it was quite scary to read that. 108 is fast.
Yeah, that road, it's notorious. I mean, it's a shame because every year you'll see at least one or two fatalities on that stretch of road. Not only for the speed, but for people trying to pass semis, and it's really sad. But no, that was not in an area that RPD monitors.
Okay, thanks.
Very good. Takes us to judicial.
And the third and final reading of ordinance 2024-04, or by title only, an ordinance to amend and adopt an amended holiday schedule for the East Canton Informational Handbook for all full-time and part-time employees of the Village of East Canton, Ohio. So,
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Consos.
yeah.
Dan.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Buxton.
Yeah.
Anything else for judicial? Takes us to grants. Anything for grants? Finance.
Finance, I'd like to make a motion to approve invoices in the amount of $9,450.90. As presented by Fiscal Officer Geis.
Second.
That was all of them too.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Consos.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
Buxton.
Would also like to make a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $19,230.94.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Consos.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Buxton.
And last but not least, I'd like to make a motion to approve the February 2024 bank reconciliation as presented by Fiscal Officer Geis.
Second.
Roll call, Collins.
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Consos.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yeah.
Buxton. Anything else for finance? Takes us to other. I'd like to present council with the mayor's court report for February. Total collected for the month 2,204, which breaks down as follows: 1,544 in fines, 270 in local costs, and 390 in state costs. Any questions? Also another, I'd just like to remind village residents that, chickens are not permitted within the village limits. Companies are getting a lot of questions about chickens. I'm not sure what that is for, but, within the village limits, they are not permitted.
You got bird flu.
So. Anything else for other?
Guess that cancels out my request for turkeys too.
Gonna hang out at your place with my chicken catcher.
Yeah.
Good work.
Alright. The only reason I bring it forward is I'm receiving a lot of questions. That's wanted to throw it out there.
But they're so cute and tasty.
I mean, I'd be tempted to get the eggs and then get some dinner. Man. Best of both worlds. It's just village zoning doesn't want such a thing. All right. Anything else, brother? Very good. Get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
There you go. All right. Roll call. Colin.
Yeah.
Luke.
Yeah.
Contos.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes.
Carmen. Buck.
Yeah.